Hi everybody, this is Dan at Theta Trend. Today is Sunday, November 24th. It's almost 8 in the morning here, Mountain Time. And what I'm going to do today is go through an example of how to apply the Donchian Channels in Thinkorswim, basically how to apply the study and strategies. And what we're looking at here is just a daily chart of Apple. It's roughly a year-to-date chart. And when we're done, it's going to look something like this. And so in this example, what I have is this is a 50-day channel here, the dotted purple line, and then this is a 25-day channel, the green line. And you can see the strategies applied here because it's taking the short position and then it covers it down here when it hits the 25-day high after making a 50-day breakdown. So with that, let's just get right into how to apply the study. And what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go back over to the Apple chart that doesn't have any indicators. And what I started out here with is just a daily chart, and I have one study on it, and I'll show you that. So if I go to Studies, Edit Studies, I just have the ATR Wilder study, and I've set it to be 20 days. And that's a default study in Thinkorswim, so you can find it here on the left under the Studies tab. But for now, and maybe what I'll do is I'll just leave this open. We'll hop over here to the blog, and this article is going to be posted out to the blog by the time this video goes live. And if you're watching this video on YouTube, look in the bottom of the video in the information section, and I'll include a link back to this article. And it'll make it really easy to find the strategy. But what I've done here is I've included a few different strategies. There are two entry strategies, long and short, and then there are two exit strategies, again, long and short. And what we're going to do here is we'll just apply the short entry strategy and the short exit strategy because the chart we're looking at, the Apple chart, is better as a short trade. But you can apply both strategies and it'll work just fine. So the first thing you're going to want to do is on the article, I'm right here, Donchian Channel, Thinkscript strategy, short entry. That's what we're interested in creating in Thinkorswim. So I'm going to just take and highlight this and copy it. And then I'll pop back over here to Thinkorswim. And what I'm going to need to do in the Edit Studies and Strategies is click on the Strategies tab and say New, right there like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to call this, what should we call it? Let's call it TT Donchian SE for short entry. Okay. And then we'll get this out of there. Delete all of that. And we'll paste in the code. And so by default, we have a 50-day entry. And that's fine. That's what I like to use, so I'm just going to leave that like that. And basically what this is saying is when we make a new 50-day low, we get short the market at that 50-day low. So I say OK here, and it automatically pops it over into the studies and strategies as active. So now let's go back to the blog, and we'll also grab the short exit strategy. And this is a little bit more complicated. Let me just copy this. We'll come back over here again. And so again, strategies, not studies, strategies. And then new. And we'll call this one TT Donchian Short Exit, SX. Get rid of that. And then we'll put that in there. And what we're doing, and I'm going to go back to the chart maybe to explain it here, but the exit strategy exits under one of two conditions. The first is 3 times the daily average true range stop, and the other is the 25-day high, and that's just for short exit. So if it makes a new 25-day high, it gets out, or if it exceeds a 3 average true range move against the position, it gets out. And then it trails the stop down. Once I put the channels on, it's going to make more sense here. But so this is the Donchian Channel study, and I actually picked this up from Chris Ball over at chartingwithchris.blogspot.com. So I didn't create this; I just created the strategies. But what we'll do is we'll copy this as well, and go back over to Thinkorswim, and now we do want a study. So we're going to create a study, and we're going to say new, and we'll just call it CB for Chris Ball, Donchian. And we'll go down here, move everything out there. And so Chris actually has 3 settings in here. And maybe what I'll do is I'll just apply it. And we're going to change this from 20 to 50 so that it agrees with the strategy settings. We'll say OK. And then what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to add it again. Let's see. I don't see it showing up here. Oh, there it is. CB Donchian. So I'll double click on that, and that adds it again. And we're going to change the settings to 25. And the other thing I want to do is Chris has this set up so that it also calculates the midline. This middle band, and that's basically just the difference between the upper and the lower, but I'm not using that, so I'm just going to unclick the show plot, show bubble, show title, and I'll say OK, and then I'm going to do the same thing here on the 25. So let's go to the middle band tab, we'll get rid of show plot, show bubble, show title, and then let's also do another thing, and that's just to change the color of the shorter channel to gray or something so that we can see the difference. So right now I'm changing that to gray, and I'll say OK. So if I apply this, we'll just give it a minute while it thinks about all of that. OK. And I'm just trying to say OK out of here, but it's hanging a little bit. I guess we're pushing the limits. What you can see here now is, so we have a 50-day channel, and that's the blue, and then we have a 25-day channel, which is the gray. And what the short exit study does is it says, okay, we had a short entry up here, and average true range at that point was, what is this? 15 basically. So if we take our short entry and we add 15 times 3 to it, or 45, that's our initial stop level. And so it's either that stop level, which is up here, we can't really see it, or the 25-day high. And as we go down, the 25-day high gets lower and lower and lower and lower. And eventually, we're short all the way down through here, and then the 25-day high gets hit over here and takes us out of the position. And since then, we haven't had any new short entries. But if you had the long entry strategy in here, you'd see the exact same thing on the upside. You'd see an entry here and an exit here. So at any rate, that's how you apply the Donchian Channel strategies in Thinkorswim. Please check out the blog at www.thetatrend.com. And if you have any questions, just send an email to Dan, D-A-N, @thetatrend.com. Thanks for watching.